Alright, so today is June 3rd, 2019, and we are here with a new plant. So this is the Japanese maple hibiscus, and I would assume it's called the maple hibiscus because this looks like the maple leaf. As you can see, it is not like all the other hibiscus that you see that are more common. These leaves, the foliage on this hibiscus is purple. So it's a really beautiful plant. I really wanted one of these plants when I first saw it, and my mother-in-law wound up buying me this one here from the plant store. So I've had this plant for quite a while, maybe I think 5 or 6 months, and as you can see here. Here are little seed pods, and I was out here one day and I was kind of messing with the plant, and I actually noticed that there are actually little seeds that come out of these seed pods and they just drop down. So I actually had this plant here originally set up here on this little makeshift table that I've got there, and the seeds fell down into the cinders here, and this one right here is one of those seeds. As you can see, it is a pretty healthy plant. This is the MIRACLE-GRO potting mix that I always grow my plants in, and as you can see here, I did add a little more feed because the plant was getting too big and I just didn't get the chance to transplant it yet, so I just wound up pouring a little feed in there to kind of keep the plant healthy until I do so. So today, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go ahead and transplant this little plant here into a gallon-sized pot. Okay, as usual, when I take the plant out of the pot, I want you guys to see the root structure on any of the plants that I'm transplanting, and these roots look pretty amazing. It's just so thick with roots. I think it's this goes to show you that it's been a long time coming for transplantation, so I'm really happy I'm able to get to it today so that we can get this guy into his new home and hopefully keep him happier. Alright guys, so there we have it, the Japanese maple hibiscus, and as you can see, here is the pot that it was originally in, and we've moved it to a gallon-sized pot, which is the same size pot that the mother plant is in. So you can clearly see the difference in the shades of the foliage, with this one being more mature than this one here. I'd say this plant here is maybe a month and a half, 2 months old, but like I said, as you can see, it's just totally trying to keep growing. So I really wanted to get this plant transplanted earlier, but I just didn't. I couldn't afford the soil then, so I finally was able to buy the soil, and I'm happy that I can get it transplanted already so that it can continue to do its thing. So this is one of those plants where technically it wasn't a plant that I found, but it is a plant that I want to add to my collection of plants. So being the collector of these plants, I wanted to show you guys what came off of the actual mother plant, and that this one was not bought in the store. It was actually growing right there in the ground, and it was a tiny little thing coming up, and I saved it before I might have accidentally stepped on it. So amazing what just taking a small little plant and putting it in a small little pot can do. So as you can see here, it's stretching out sideways as well as it is going vertical. So we'll be back to the hibiscus maybe here in a couple months. I'll show you guys the progress on the growth, and let you guys know if I've done any pruning or trimming. Alright, so it is July 18th, 2019, and we're back here at the maple hibiscus. So as you can see here, well, here's the mother plant, and as far as size comparison, the mother plant is really small compared to the younger one that we've gotten transplanted here. And it's growing a lot faster than I thought it would. So I'm gonna have to transplant it again because it just keeps falling over. When a slight breeze comes through, the pot is just too small and the plant has gotten really tall. So I'm not gonna trim the plant. I'm just gonna let it kind of do its thing. Maybe trim it sometime in the future if it looks like it needs it, but for now it looks perfectly fine. So I'm just gonna transplant him into a bigger pot. That way he could stay upright. All right, this is a quick look at the root system. So if you remember the last time we did this, maybe a couple weeks ago, that root system looked pretty similar, but it was in a much smaller pot. So you can see that this plant is really trying to get bigger. So I'm glad we're gonna go ahead and transplant him. All right, so there we go. We've got our maple hibiscus transplanted, and we'll be back in a couple of months, I guess. All right, so it's July 22nd, 2019, and we're here at the mother maple hibiscus. So this mother plant has been struggling, probably because it's been long, overdue for transplantation. So I'm gonna go ahead and transplant her into this bigger pot here. Okay, sorry about that. I had to cut off that video because I had to run off real quick, but I still managed to transplant the mother plant. So here's that pot that you saw right before the video cut off, and it turns out that the mother plant was actually two plants. So I have one of them planted here in the bigger pot that I originally had chosen for it to be transplanted into, and the other one went into a gallon-sized pot because it was just big enough to go into a gallon-sized pot. So we'll go ahead and walk over to the other one so we can see it. Here we are at the other one. So here's the other plant that was planted right next to the mother plant, and it looked like it was one plant until I took that plant apart, and there were actually lots of termites in the soil. So as I was cleaning it, I could see that there were two different stems with two different root systems, and that's how I figured out that these were two separate plants planted in one pot. So we'll get back to the other one. All right, it is July 28, 2019, and I wanted to show you guys the growth rate of the maple hibiscus before I put this video up. So when we first started off, transplantation moved the maple hibiscus from this small pot here to this one here. So this is a gallon-sized pot. This is a 3-inch pot, and now he's in this bigger pot here. Not exactly sure. This might be a 5-gallon pot, but there he is now. So within the span of a little under 2 months, this guy has gone from this to this. This pot here was the pot that the mother plant was originally in. Turned out that there were two plants in here, and I split them up when I went on ahead and transplanted them, so they can kind of get their own growing space. So you can see just how fast this hibiscus plant grows. Now that I've got him in a pot that I'm comfortable with leaving him in within the next couple of months, I'll go ahead and leave him in there. I'm sure the root mass down here is going to get pretty dense here within the next month or two. So we'll see if we come back to him then for another transplantation. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and leave him here for the next couple of months. I just wanted you guys to see just how big it has gotten before I put this video up. So that is the Japanese maple hibiscus.